Back in the early 2000s, my most cherished piece of video game hardware was my GunCon 2. The ability to play arcade-quality ports of Namco's Time Crisis series at home, and even better, side by side with my older brother, was simply earth-shattering. We didn't care about full locomotion, teleportation, or one-to-one representation of an on-screen firearm. We were too busy blasting away terrorists on a 32-inch CRT television to care. So the announcement of Bravo Team for PlayStation VR sounded like a godsend. A cover-based, aim-compatible shooter in the vein of some of my favorite light gun shooters of all time. But where Time Crisis was always about over-the-top arcade action, Bravo Team feels constantly subdued, even in the midst of its more intense firefights. Taking place in a fictional Eastern European city, Bravo Team really gives us a sense of place. Cobblestone streets lined with abandoned cars, deserted outdoor cafes, and vacant plazas all lend to the motif of a community hiding in fear, overrun by a terrorist faction. And on the PlayStation 4 Pro, all of these environments are realistic, detailed, and sharp. Everything is so dark and gritty, just the way I like it, with moments of graphical brilliance. Reflective puddles, graffitied buildings, and flying debris really make this world come alive. Even the absence of music adds to the ambiance that supermassive games so lovingly created.
Keep going, I've got this covered!
Since I brought it up in my introduction, we might as well ask, what does Bravo Team actually have in common with Time Crisis? Well, you'll certainly be popping in and out of cover with a single button press. It's aim compatible, giving it that GunCon 2 level of immersion. And you can play the whole game with an AI or online buddy. But that's about it. Striving for realism, Bravo Team avoids many of the gameplay elements common to its genre. No grenades or power-ups, no bosses, and no insane action scenes on tanks, boats, or helicopters. And here wherein lies Bravo Team's biggest problem. Every level feels exactly the same. There's no need to explore for collectibles or special weapons. Just head straight for the exit, taking down as many generic, cookie-cutter enemies as possible along the way, which makes its 3-hour campaign feel already too long and too repetitive, a mere 30 minutes in. But the problems don't end there. Movement is handled through the strangest means possible. You'll point your gun or turn your head to select a predetermined destination. Then the game abruptly switches to third-person mode, with often sporadic camera placement while your character walks to the next waypoint. It's jarring, disorienting, and strips away any sense of immersion that Bravo Team had amassed with its world, and throws it straight out the window. Giving us the option to stay in first-person mode for these moments, not to mention allowing us to shoot bad guys on our little walk, would have been a literal game-changer. DualShock 4, 2 moves, and the aim controller are all supported. And to its credit, all 4 guns feel pretty good when you're holding them in your hands, and aiming and shooting feel, well, not perfect, but precise enough. Just don't expect the immaculate precision of Farpoint.
Keep going, I've got this covered! Enemy shooter spotted. Middle apartment building. You'll find them 2 floors down from the top. You're looking for the first balcony from the right. Sniper KIA.
I really wanted to love, or at least like, Bravo Team. And after hours of playing, I'm only managing to tolerate it at best. It's not arcade-like enough for Time Crisis fans, and not realistic enough for everyone else. There's just no reward for the time you put in. It lacks any real excitement, and I can honestly say, I'm just not having any fun. There's a level of graphical polish here that implies the game was destined to be something more, something better. But for whatever reason, we got what we got, and unfortunately, it just isn't good enough.